Hi guys, so in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I groom and trim my eyebrows on a daily basis to make sure that they stay tamed and in shape. I show you a few different products to use on different looks depending on what you're going for, and I show you easy ways to keep them the shape that you would like them. The most important thing with eyebrows is to just keep up with them on a daily basis so that they don't get out of hand, and just make sure you're plucking any extra hairs that you see growing at any point in time. If you just pluck a few a day, it's really easy to maintain them. So if you want to see how I maintain my eyebrows, just stay tuned. And please hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any more of my future videos. For starters, I'm going to show you how to map out your eyebrows. You're going to need a regular makeup brush. A small eyeshadow one is perfectly fine. You're going to align it with the outside of your nose and the inner corner of your eyes. And straight up there is where you're going to make your mark. That's where your eyebrow should start. Mine does start there, so I don't really need to mark it. And you're going to take the outside of your nose and the center of your eye, and that's where your R should be. And you can make a line over here. Just using my Anastasia brow wiz to do this. And then from the outside of your nose again to the outside of your eye and straight up, and that's where your eyebrow should end. These lines will help you to use a stencil to align it to your eyebrow the correct way to arch it to your face shape. Since mine are already where they should be, I'm just going to wipe off those lines. Now I have already groomed my eyebrows yesterday, so I don't really have any hairs to pluck. But what I will do every 2 to 3 weeks is I will either take my Anastasia brow wiz, which is just my regular eyebrow pencil, or I will take my Anastasia dip brow. It's more of a consistency of like a gel eyeliner. It is very intense and is super easy to go overboard. My dip brow isn't completely smooth because it was a little dry, so I just put some eye drops in it and mixed it around to make it a nice workable consistency again. If I'm going to use the Anastasia dip brow, I will also use the Anastasia number 12 brush. It's got a very small angle on it. It has a spoolie on the other side. This helps so you can comb your brows the way that you want them. So what I would do is make myself look like a complete nut. So I will just dip my Anastasia number 12 brush in there. You do not want to go directly onto the eyebrows with such thick product on it, so what I will do is wipe it on the sides on the back of my hand to get it off so it won't be such a thick line, and it'll help me get more of a precise line. Now I'll just fill in my brows. So this is what my eyebrow would look like before I'm going to groom it. It is very dramatic and looks like a Sharpie eyebrow, but that's the point. This is not how I would go out of my house looking. And then I would just take my Anastasia tweezers. I like that they're angled. I don't usually like pointed ones because I can usually stab myself with them. And then since it is so dramatically filled in, we know exactly how we would want it. So what you would do is just take your tweezers and pluck any hairs that aren't in this exact shape that you did. And that would help make sure that I only had hairs exactly where I want them to be in the shape that I want. And then after I plucked that, I'm just going to wipe this away because I already did this yesterday, so I don't need to pluck anymore. Just take a makeup wipe. And then what I would do is take my scissors. I'm not sure what brand they are, but I do believe I just got them at either Harmon Face Values or CVS or something. And I will take a disposable mascara wand. It's just like a spoolie on the other side of the Anastasia brush. And I would just brush my hairs upwards. And any hairs that I would have straggling, I would take the scissors as I hold the spoolie against my skin, and I would just cut any extra hairs that come off. Trimming the hairs of your eyebrows will help it so that throughout the day your eyebrow hairs won't go all over the place because they won't be long enough to get out of the lines of what you already filled in. So I would do the top, and I would just trim them. And I would go all the way over here too, because when they're longer this way, that they don't sit straight. I would also brush down too. And when you see the hairs, just trim them off. Now that our eyebrows are plucked and trimmed, I could just go in with a brow gel, a tinted brow gel. This is from NYX in the shade Chocolate. It's got a small little spoolie on the end of it. I like the light brown shade in this because my hairs are so black that if I filled them in with the shade that they normally are, it looks a little too dramatic for me. So I could easily just run this through my eyebrows on a day that I'm going with more of a natural look. And it would just ever so slightly fill in the sparse areas and make my eyebrows look less dramatic, because it would add more of a brown tint than a black. And you can see the difference between the two. This one's more sparse and this one is a little toned down with the light brown and filled in better. Now I'm going to show you how I would normally use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Chocolate to fill in my eyebrows. I would take the spoolie and brush the hairs upwards so that I could see the definite bottom line that I would like to fill in. And I would just ever so slightly, with a very light hand because you don't want to go in too harsh, I would just put the line down there so you can see it, and then line the underneath. And that's what it should look like so far. And then I will use upward light flicking motions in the beginning here, because you do not want a harsh eyebrow right in the front. And then I'll just slightly comb through in the sparse areas. Now where my arches are on my eyebrows is not as definitive as the rest of them. From years of plucking and waxing, the hairs don't really grow that well up here and up here. So I normally like to draw that in with my eyebrow pencil. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And then connect the top of that arch with the bottom of the tail of the eyebrow and fill in a little more. Now that we have it filled in, I'm going to take the spoolie end and just brush the product from the bottom line that we created here upwards so that it's not such a harsh line. And we can blend it with the rest of the eyebrow. And then I'm going to blend the product with the spoolie throughout the rest of my brow hairs. So we'll line the bottom half first, and then do light upward flicking motions over here to mimic the look of brow hairs. And slightly comb through here very, very lightly to just fill in some sparse areas. And then create the tail. Now sometimes if I feel like I had a little more of a heavy hand with the brow wiz, I will just take the spoolie end and just keep brushing it until I wipe away some product in certain areas so that it looks a little more natural and not just completely filled in. And another reason why I love the NYX Tinted Brow Gel so much is because it's such a light shade that it can also really help tone down my eyebrows if I feel they're a little too dark for me. As well as toning down how dark my eyebrows hair are sometimes, I do find that this brow gel actually does really help keep my hairs in place. So that's another plus for it, especially if you're just using it alone. On other days where I don't feel like doing anything to my eyebrows and I don't feel like the Tinted NYX Brow Gel is really necessary, I will just go in with my Anastasia Brow Gel, because I do find that this is like hairspray for my eyebrows and really keeps my hairs in place all day. So I could just do this with bare eyebrows or on top of my Anastasia Brow Wiz if I don't feel like it was too dark. I find that eyebrows really aren't as difficult as some people make them seem. It's just the fact that you really need to upkeep with them. I do not get them waxed anymore or threaded anywhere. I just maintain them myself. Anytime after I do my eyebrows on a daily basis, I can just take my tweezers and pluck any one or two remaining hairs that are growing in, so all my hairs don't grow at the same rate. So I find that every single day, just plucking a few here and there really helps to maintain them, and it's not as hard as waiting like 2 weeks and doing them all in one day and just really hating it and being really aggressive. My eyebrows may look a little crazy right now because I've just finished filling them in and there's no other makeup on my face. But by the time I finish the rest of my look, it will really come together well and they will look very groomed and taken care of. So I will be right back after I finish the rest of my makeup. So with the rest of my face makeup done, my eyebrows don't look as intimidating as they did with a completely naked face. I really hope you enjoyed this video and picked up some tips and tricks of your own along the way. Please give it a thumbs up if you did and let me know how well you liked it and any other tips and tricks you have for me down below in the comment section. And please hit that subscribe button on your way out. Hello everybody, so today I'm going to do a makeup tutorial on this eye look. It's a very dramatic look using the Manny and Makeup Geek palette.